Hey guys, welcome back to another GMB podcast. I'm one of your hosts, MAK10.
And I'm Sparkle. And why don't you tell the people what you do?
Okay, so I am a DJ, producer, dancer, actress, singer, and I basically do it all.
Yeah. And I do it all as well. I'm a multi-threat recording artist, producer, and DJ. And today on our podcast, I'm super excited because we have one half of the amazing dynamic duo, Krewella. Today we're here with Miss Yasmine.
Hello, ladies. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
Thank you for
coming
coming.
on. Okay, so introduce yourself to the people for those of you who don't know.
Oh my God, how can I follow up you guys? Because you just said some amazing things about yourselves. I'm really proud and honored to be here. I'm Yasmine Yousaf. I'm one half of Krewella, like you said. I'm representing for me and my sister, Jahan. We've been doing Krewella since 2007. I'm a
Wow.
DJ, producer, songwriter. Just overall musician, I would say. It's hard to say when you've been doing this for, I'm sure, your whole lives, such as yourselves. Musician is kind of the all-encompassing name for what we do. But then people are like, "Oh, so you play guitar at coffee shops?" And I'm like,
Right.
"No, no, no."
Yeah, they definitely try to dumb it down a little bit, but that's crazy. You've been doing music longer than both of us have been alive. That's like, so you're simply the GOAT. Like, just say that. It's fine.
You're so sweet. That also makes me feel so old, but good for you. Good for y'all for starting early. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So should we jump on into questions?
Let's do
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. So I was wondering, because I know you said you've been making music since 2007. How do you think your creative process has evolved from like those days to now?
Oh my God, so much. I feel like a world of difference. When I first started making music, it was probably actually, ooh, my parents bought me an acoustic guitar for my 10th birthday, which was in 2002. Wow. I was born in 1992. Let's just like put it all out there. I'm 33. And so my sister and I, Jahan and I, we fought a lot growing up, but we fought hard and played hard. And our version of play was making music together. Even before Cruella, before anything, we would have our little arguments and then we would write songs together on guitar. After the acoustic guitar, we got an electric guitar, we got a drum set, we got a bass. And we just started making music together in a hobby form, but it always felt like our escape from the world. And in 2007, when I was a freshman in high school and Jahan was a junior, um, she started making music with our third member of the time. His name was Chris, and they were having so much fun. They would come to the house that we grew up in and just make music. And one day they're like, Yasmin, come sing on this track. And that was the first day that I started making music with the three of them. And from there, we just started heavily diving into electro pop and blog house of I this is before y'all's time, but like 2007 to 2010 blog house electro house was so inspiring for us. And we loved all the big pop guys. Like Max Martin was one of our heroes back then, still is to this day. And we really started honing in on our production and songwriting. But for who we are today, comparing it, looking at the journey, if I have to think about what has changed, one thing always happens with time is you gain confidence in yourself. No matter what, if you've been doing something for X amount of years, you become more confident. I have to say, I was not born with confidence. This has been a skill that I've had to chip away at. But I feel like that's the biggest change. Jahan and I used to probably lean on other people for thoughts and opinions of what we should be doing with our work. And I would say that we were signed to Columbia Records, and when we left them in 2017 or 2018, we were finally on our own again, and that's when the confidence started really building for us.
That's so
It
dope.
was big for us. So confidence is the one thing that comes to mind of what's changed.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's super awesome.
I actually love that.
Me
Okay,
too.
so next question. When you don't feel like making music and you know you have to, what is something that inspires you to keep going?
Oh, damn. Am I allowed to swear? Like before? before
I mean,
I
we
go up,
prefer you not to.
I'm not going to because it's really good I asked because I have potty mouth and I'm so glad
Yeah.
I asked.
Worst case, we'll edit it. We'll censor it.
I love that you
Got
guys.
you. We got you.
We're gonna censor ourselves over here.
For sure.
So on the days where I'm uninspired, I do one of two things. I do the intern work that I always say intern work, but I don't have an intern. Like I do the intern work
Right.
of just prepping sessions for stemming out and just the stuff that drains me when I'm in creative mode. If I'm uninspired, sometimes that's what I need to do. I'm like, okay, I eventually have to do that anyways, so may as well do it when I'm not inspired. If I'm uninspired and I want to be creative, like I don't want to do the intern work, I do a lot of reading. Like I've always been a reader since I was a kid. I feel like my imagination is wild. So I read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi, and it's surprisingly, I know it's a different form of media in general, but I find it to be extremely inspiring. I'll read something and I feel like I hear a soundtrack in my head, or I'll see it playing out as a movie, and that's super inspiring. Also, it's beautiful to collaborate with people because if you're tapped out, someone else can fill that cup without even knowing it. And so I'll work with Jahan, I'll like have her over and we'll write something, or my partner, we've been together for almost 9 years. We live together. We built this home studio together.
Well,
He's one of the most inspiring people ever. So if he's writing a song and I'm uninspired, I'll just sit on that couch there and just listen to what he's doing. And sometimes he'll be like, "What would you do here?" Or hop in the booth and sing something. Or so we kind of feed off each other. That's a huge thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
love that.
That's amazing. So obviously, since you've been doing music for so long, you guys have a crazy amount of songs that you guys have made. Is there a song that you guys like wish people paid more attention to? Because obviously, like, there's the ones that blow up and everybody loves, but then there's always that song that it's like, dang, like I wish that one got some more attention and more hype around it because it's one of my favorites.
I have a question for you now.
Okay, yes. Oh yeah, we're gonna bounce off.
I've never been asked this question before, and I love this question, Sparkles. That's sick. I've never even thought about it too much because I try to live and let live. Like once a project is out or a song is out, I'm like, that's not mine anymore. That's the world's. I'm closed off from it. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. Live and let live, basically. But I can think of a couple off the top of my head that are coming up right now. We have this song called Overboard on our 2020 album Zero. It's definitely more of a hip hop inspired song. And it was inspired by a really strange time in life. And I feel like it was kind of like a peek into the diary a little bit. And I love the production work on it, everything about it. But it's not like an EDM song by any means. So I think that's why it never surfaced to the top. And then on our most recent record, The Body Never Lies, that came out in 2022, we have a song called In the Water, which was just one of the most fun songs to make ever. And drum and bass has been my favorite subgenre since like day one of Krewella. It's like I'm always trying to be like, should we make a drum and bass song today? What about drum? What about 174? Like just adjust the tempo. That's who I am in the studio 95% of the time. And so
Right.
it's a drum and bass track. It's a super moody track. I was heavily inspired by like Radiohead and some of my favorite alternative bands in the yes, in the
Yes.
verses. So it has like a it's like a very Cruella song as a whole. Like if you listen to it, it has so many pieces of us in that one song. And I think it's a really good indicator of who we are wrapped up into one song. But yeah, it's definitely more of a weird song. So yeah, that one didn't rise to the top either. It's not as well known, but those are two off the top of my head.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
love
dope.
that.
Also, I love the Radiohead little
Exactly.
mix in there.
I grew up
Oh,
on them. Like
They're
I
amazing.
yes.
They're awesome. And then I know you had a question you wanted to
Yeah.
follow up with.
Yeah.
So
Okay. First of all, I loved the answer.
yeah.
Okay. So
Okay, just brain farted. Just brain farted.
Oh, it'll come back.
It'll come back.
it'll come back.
For sure.
Okay. Well then let's go to the ones we wrote down.
Okay, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, no, we have like a list. We're
Full
like, oh
list.
yeah.
If you remember, just interrupt us and just be like, I got it. I got it.
Yeah, feel free. Feel free,
Okay.
literally.
Perfect.
Okay.
I will definitely. So my next question, our
got
next
it?
question.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay. When you are making a song, what do you typically start with? Do you start with the melody, the beat,
Ooh, or like a
the lyric?
pre-ritual even too, like
Yes.
before? Like, yeah,
Yes.
okay, wait,
Like a
okay, I'm
little
gonna add on to this
hum,
question.
like a
I'm gonna add
little
on to this question too. Like, what's like a pre-ritual, and then what do you do when you make the song? Like, what do you start with?
So we don't have the same pre-ritual every single studio session because I'm working on music every single day. And so I probably should do a pre-ritual every single day because I feel like I'm a quite ritualistic person and I like to have themes and routines. But next time we talk, I'll have a better answer for the pre-ritual. But I feel like when Jahan and I are really in need of a deep connective moment, I have a cute little backyard that we go into. So this is the home studio. She comes over, we hit the backyard, we lay on a blanket in the sun, we share a dog. She's out there with us. We're both just like petting her and loving on her, sitting in the sun and just discussing dreams we've had lately, how we're feeling mentally, what part of our cycle we're in the month, and how that's going to affect everything because it does.
Right. That's so us.
We were literally just talking about that.
It affects your creativity, like it really does. And so we do this debrief with each other. This is not every studio session, but there are some of my favorite songs we've ever written have had that debrief before, and then we go into the studio with a rush of ideas or an inspiration of what we want the song to sound like. And again, this is so not a linear answer on what comes first in a studio session. But it really is different for every single song. Sometimes Jahan will send me a voice memo and she's like, I wrote this on guitar last night. And I'll take the voice memo, put it into Ableton and start producing around it. And then the next day, she'll come in and record the actual vocals and re-record the guitar. Or sometimes we save the phone recorded stuff for like
Right, demos.
sampling and like changing the way it sounds. Because you can do so much with an iPhone or a phone now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then other times I'll just be feeling like I want to wear only my producer hat and no songwriting, and I'll just make a beat, start a drop idea, and then we'll add songwriting on the back end. So it really is, every single song is different. I'm sorry, it's not linear. I don't have like an exact
Yeah.
process, but
No, I'm glad that you're keeping it honest though, because that's what we like to hear. Because it's like sometimes we'll ask people like even like off the podcast, we're like, "What's your like pre-ritual? Like, what do you do?" And it's like so standard. Like it's like the expectation. I'm like, okay, but I want it like real and raw. Like, what do
Make
you
the beat
really
first.
do? Like,
Make the beat first.
so I'm glad that you're like being honest with us and being like, "Hey, I don't do anything."
I'm not a messy human internally by any means, but I'm definitely like I'm a shifty gal. Like depending on my mood, I I've told Jahan this in the studio before. Sometimes when I wear too many hats in one day, I'll I just combust. And sometimes I just want to be a songwriter. Sometimes I just want to be a producer. Sometimes I want to like go in my headphones and mix, and it just depends how I feel that day. So
And I was actually gonna ask you a question about that too, because I know like we gave our intros, like you kind of see like a little dabble of like all the hats that we wear. Like, how do you balance all that? Because I feel like me personally, like because I produce mainly, but I'm like I want to songwrite sometimes, so that way I could get in the studio and record. Like I don't, then I kind of lose it, and I'm like, how do I balance all of the stuff that I do?
I wish I had a good answer for you, but I'm still figuring it out. I feel like some of mine and Jahan's hardest moments in the studio are because I'm like the combusting is happening, and she's like,
Right.
"Whoa, bro, I can feel your energy's really off. What's going on right now?"
Okay, so it's good to know the crash out never ends.
Oh my God, no. Oh, honey, I wish it did, but it doesn't.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm getting better at it because, okay, I know we all hear the word boundaries all the time, but it's a self boundary that you have to have, and that's what I'm learning is like I will go into a session being like, okay, I'm gonna do this right now, and then I'm gonna do this, and this that's me not having boundaries with myself, and then it leaks out into my energy and affects the people around me, and it messes me up. Like it makes me not have as good of a time. So I think getting better with those personal boundaries is an overarching goal that I have, and I'm chipping away at it. I've definitely gotten better at it, but it's a process.
It totally is. I think I really like that answer, actually. I feel like that kind of did give me like a bit of like the peace of mind that I need to know for the future too, especially because
Yes.
this is what I'm gonna be doing long term, like for sure. So
We have to
it's good to
figure it out.
know.
Like our mental
Yes.
Yeah.
health will suffer if we don't figure it
For
out.
sure. No, and then I actually had another question too, because I know you guys said like you'll just like kind of like go in the backyard and like sit with the dog and figure out what you guys want to do. Is there ever a time like, because obviously you guys are sisters, so I know we both have sisters. We get in arguments with our sisters. Is there like ever times where you guys like disagree on something like with beats or like just like vocals, lyrics, and like
Music in
have to kind
general.
of like work around that to get to like the final part of the project?
All the time. Definitely all it's super normal even if you're not siblings to disagree
Right.
on the trajectory of a song. In the moment, I sometimes, and I'm sure Jahan would say this too, sometimes you're so flooded with your ego, you're like, I think I know what's best.
Right.
But Jahan and I have gotten really good at doing this dance of making space, unless we're certain that the idea is not the way to go, and it would maybe like waste our time or drain our creative juice to go down that path. So unless we're certain, we try to make space for what the other person is thinking.
Right.
And it might feel a little half-hearted at first if I'm trying something where I'm like, nah, I don't really get it, but let's try. But that's the incredible part about collaborating is that no Krewella song would have happened without me or her. And like that's how I look at it big picture. I zoom out, and in those moments where one of us might be having like a little bit of an ego trip or just not understanding the creative vision of the other person, I try to remember there is a reason, there's like a divine reason that we work together and we make the final product. It really,
Right.
so I try to keep that in the forefront in those moments, the hard moments where we're disagreeing on something.
That's dope. That's really
Okay, so we just talked about, well, you just talked about crash outs and like mind space.
boundaries,
Yes.
boundaries.
So my next question is when you like feel out, like when you feel like you're about to like crash out and you're like you can't physically take it anymore, like mentally, what do you do to calm yourself down in that moment?
Okay. I'm such a work in progress human, so I can't say I have a good method quite yet. If I'm in the studio with Jahan, I've gotten better at being completely honest of like I'm tapped out. I think I actually might need to be done for the day. Not always perfect about it. Sometimes I get a little like my energy gets a little chaotic and she can sense it and then maybe we could talk through it together. If I'm alone, if I'm alone, I give myself the space to break down if I need to, or just freak out, or quit Ableton and go on a walk or something. I mean, last week I spent Monday through Friday of last week hours and hours in the studio every single day working on chipping away at a mix. And every single studio session either started or ended with me sobbing. Like it was just, and
And that's not crazy.
It's
It's not
not.
crazy.
I
It's
can
really
laugh
not.
about it now. But I felt like in the moment, if I had past Yasmine, like me 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, pre-COVID, because COVID really helped me regulate a little bit, like gave me the space to figure some shit out, oh, some stuff out. Sorry. Oh my God, I'm doing my
Okay. I didn't even catch it.
sick, sick. But even like 5, 10 years ago, if I was crashing out up here, I would just push through it and force myself to continue and suppress everything. And I think that created a lot of new problems, you know? Like when you suppress something, it just creates more stuff can go wrong. So I think I'm getting better at knowing when I need to tap out or knowing when I need to just explode, which is in my version of exploding, it's just like crying a little bit and then I feel
Yes.
better. But I usually
Right.
do that alone. I don't want anybody to see me like,
That's like a private
Yes,
thing.
it
You gotta
is.
kind
It
of like,
really is.
yeah.
yeah. No,
I
I get that.
understand it. I understand
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Literally, the other day, I was mixing a song and I was like, I have to quit.
Oh my God.
It happens. It totally happens, and it's kind of like good to know that that never ends. Like the struggle, like it's always there. Because like I feel like that kind of like eats my mind a little bit. I might be tripping, but
I think if you care about the art you're creating, like heavily, there is like a neurosis or a psychosis to it. Like if you're an artist who deeply cares and your identity is tied in with the work you're making, because so much of us feel that way, there is this high stakes feeling. It's extremely high stakes, especially when you make a living doing this, when you're judged doing this, when you're perceived and seen doing this. It's high stakes, guys.
right. Yeah, no, I agree. I know you guys recently had dropped the song Crying on the Dance Floor.
Yeah.
And you want to like walk us through the process of that? Or like I know like some things like some songs like they just seem like so emotional and like you feel like almost like you don't want to release it. I know I have songs in the vault that are like that. Do you guys have any like that? Like what was the process of Crying on the Dance Floor? How'd you guys even like come up with that?
How'd you come up with that at all?
Yeah.
So Jahan and I have been saying tears on the dance floor or crying on the dance floor our entire career to explain um not the genre we think we are, but the mood we try to set for the most part.
Right.
I'm not saying all of our songs feel like tears on the dance floor, but a lot of them do. And that day that we were working, we have this homie, his name is Cody. He's incredible on acoustic guitar. So he's just like sitting on the couch, just noodling on guitar. And I'm like, I must record. This is crazy. These melodies are crazy. I knew the beginning of the session, I knew that I really wanted to write some like gorgeous, lush, emotional, hard dance song. I didn't know where it was gonna go, but I set the tempo to like 150 immediately. That's all I remember from the beginning of the day. I'm like, that's where we're staying. We're doing this today. And he was playing this guitar part, and that was a song that kind of came together guitar and songwriting first. Jahan and I were just going back and forth in the booth,
Dope.
recording melodies over the guitar that he wrote. And it was one of the most natural songwriting days we've maybe ever had in our entire career. It just fell together. We were writing melodies. I remember when we call it gibberishing, which is when we're in the booth writing random lyrics and it just sounds like
Yeah.
mush at first. I started gibberishing lyrics to the hook melody I was writing, and they ended up just being the final lyrics because they felt right. Everything was just falling into place, and I wish I had it like a camera on or something so I could actually show how weirdly perfect everything was. But it was definitely one of those divine studio days. And then after that, I just started recording ad libs of Jahan's, and that's where we got the vocal chop on the drop part because there was
Uh,
part that she sang, and I'm like, bro, what if we transcated that and put that over like a crazy hard kick and a galloping bass? And it fell together so beautifully. Not sorry, not beautiful. Like the process was beautiful, and yeah, I feel like we were both in a really open state. I can't even explain what could have inspired that. I think we both just felt really open, and like the floodgates were open for the muse to just come down and we'll receive the message and lay it down. It
right,
was
for
like
sure.
that. It was like that.
Yeah, no, and I definitely can like hear a difference in the work too, like compared to you guys' past work. I totally hear a difference. Like, does that like kind of segue into like a new different vibe for Cruella? Like what is
So I feel like we've always, I feel like if you're a longtime fan, if you've known us since 2011 or 2012, you know that we've always been trying to tackle high energy with emotional songwriting. So it's not like
Sure.
the core of what we're doing has changed, because that's just who we are at this point. We can't get away from it. Um, but I feel like with every body of work we make, with every song we make, I'm trying to chip away at making things feel more and more authentic to the sound that we dream in our heads of what we could be. You know how like you have your dream self or your dream art, and then you have your real art, and like where do they meet, right? And I'm just trying to like bring those closer and closer. Jahan and I are trying to bring those two things closer and closer every time we work on a song. So I think that's the biggest thing that's changed from album to album is we're just getting closer and closer to whatever that is.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never heard anybody answer a question like that. Like, that was so well said. I really like that.
Thank you.
Yes, of
I feel like all
course.
these answers are actually really well said.
They are really well said.
You
I know
guys
the
are
mic was
easy
going.
to talk to, so
Yes.
it's just coming out. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Do you have any
Yeah.
questions before we wrap?
Actually just one more
Okay,
about
let's go.
crying on the dance floor. Like, what was your favorite part of making that song? Like, what was your favorite memory, like, or thing that happened during that process?
I remember when I started writing the low end and the drop, Jahan and our friend Cody had like stepped out into the backyard and came back inside. And I had like, you know, when you get like the side chain perfect and everything is rocking, everything's in the
Oh,
pocket.
yeah.
They came inside, and I'm not the type of person who needs praise or validation if I'm working on something because I'm like, it's a work in progress. If it's not perfect yet, like it's fine, don't even say anything. But their reactions when they stepped back in and heard where I was at, I I just felt like it I locked in on something that was actually worthy of not touching any, like not over tweaking it, not, and that's always a good feeling. I don't mind tweaking something for hours and hours and hours, but when it comes together quickly because you're locked in and you know exactly the vibe you're going for and you're not searching for it, you just find it. That is a great feeling. That is a
Yeah.
great feeling.
No, totally. Because I know our mentor, Miss Tiffany, she's also the founder of Girls Make Beats.
Amazing.
She was trying to teach me about mixing one day, and we were in the studio, and she was like, "A mix is never fully done; it's just surrendered." And I've always kept that like in my mind. So whenever I'm like with my friends and we're working on music, and they're like tweaking vocals and stuff, I'm like, "Never done. It's always surrendered. It's always surrendered."
It's always surrendered.
Dude, I am gonna remember those words because I
Right.
feel that way. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's why when we release music, I have to dissociate from it. I'm like, it's gone. Like I can't think about it anymore because I'll think about every little thing I wish I could have changed. And
Yes.
That is so
Oh my gosh,
understandable.
that part. No, because I've been working on like a whole bunch of new music to drop because I just dropped some music.
nice.
But like I'll listen to it or my friends will like come in the car with me and start playing it. I'm like, turn it off. I can't hear it. I can't listen to it. And I love my music, but it's just like, don't play it because I'm gonna nitpick every little thing.
I know exactly how you feel, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's really bad. But thank you so much for coming in
Thank you
today
so
and having
much.
a conversation with us. We really do appreciate it.
Of course, you guys. I hope you keep rocking all of those amazing things you're doing. I'm so impressed. Like, people should get started young and stick with it. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And do you want to let the people know where we can find you and Jahan and where they can listen to your music?
Yeah, we are at Krewella, Krewella, on every platform, pretty much. Yeah, so you can find us
Thank you so
anywhere
much.
you listen to music at that.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, I know we're listening. So
You not
now
me
that people know
almost
too.
misspelling Cruella.
Are you listening? Are you listening? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Before we head
Before
out.
we wrap up, let's tell you guys where you can find us.
Yes.
Well, you
And
can find us at girlsmakebeats.org on
everything.
Safari
On
or Girls
Safari.
Make on Safari. You can't find us. on
Yeah, that's true. You can find us everywhere on all social media platforms.
Girls Make Beats.
Yes. And then if you want to check us out, drop your
Katsu.miko143 for my DJing stuff, and for anything else, Melodies of Mac.
yes. And then you can find me on all social media platforms at msmooches, which is MSMOOCHES.